will not go exactly as planned, and that's okay. There are no high risk here. There's nothing that has to get done. We're gonna do some things that are fun for short people and fun for tall people. Here's the deal. The boys are all supposed to be at school right now. This is normally when I would film and run errands and edit video. Earlier this week, we heard of a couple of kids getting sick in their class, so we decided to keep them home yesterday, and I'm so glad we did. They ended up having 6 kiddos sick with the flu. I don't know when you're watching this, but right now it's February and it's cold and flu season. So I'm glad we kept them home yesterday, and we decided to keep them home again today. Rolling with the punches, it's not if, it's when. So today's plan has changed from me being alone and doing all those things to... But we're rolling with it. All right, let's go get the car. I have 3 ghosts. Are you friendly? At most hardware stores around here in the summer, they have what my kids call tractors, but riding lawnmowers, right next to the outdoor furniture. So if you want, you could sit in the outdoor furniture while waiting for your kids to finish their fun riding their outdoor tractors. This is obviously not my first rendezvous with this type of situation. I've done a lot of painting at a lot of houses and had to come to the store a lot of times with my kids. I did not start out this way. It has not always been as easy for me to approach this kind of activity with 3 kids in tow. When I very first started taking these outings, my expectations were way too high. I thought I'd get everything done on my to-do list, that nobody would get upset, and it would just be super easy. And I know now that that is not the case. That's why I do not do these kind of activities unless I am willing to just call it after being in the store for 5 minutes and go home. If it's something essential that I absolutely have to have, I have to find a way to do it without the kids around so that I'm not mad and frustrated and resentful that they're ruining the trip. It has to be something where there is a very low risk and just be able to call it if it's not going well. But so far this is going well. Everybody's happy, right? Yeah. If you approach it in the right way, the hardware store can be like a playground, which during cold and flu season I'm trying to 100% avoid. I'm trying to avoid any playgrounds, any indoor amusement parks, anywhere where there are kids that are touching a lot of things. Not a lot of kids going into hardware stores, so I feel like this is... Yeah, should we go see what's going on? Picking out pans and roller brushes. I'm gonna get this metal pan, it's $3.24. This deluxe liner 3-pack, which, oh wait, that doesn't fit in there. I need a small one. Oh wait, it is. I'll probably end up getting 2 of these. They're $1, and yeah, 2 of these. And that way all I have to do is just pull it up and throw it away, and I don't have to wash the metal pan when I'm done. Got it. All right, I have to talk quickly because the baby's getting restless. All right, with roller brushes, you need to make sure that it is the length that you want it to be. Some are shorter, some are longer. I want the longer one because the wall is pretty big and I don't need to get into any small spaces. Also, you'll have a choice with handles. Some are sturdier than others. Some of them are wooden. Do you see a wooden one, buddy, anywhere? Yes, okay, there's a wooden one, wooden handled one. I'm not gonna get a really heavy duty because we're not going to be in this house for very long and I don't want to keep it for years and years on end. In fact, we just had a garage sale and got rid of a lot of this stuff. So I kind of can't believe I'm buying this again. Okay, I changed my mind immediately. I'm going to get the 9-inch because I think that the 12-inch is going to be too hard for me to wield up and down the wall, because once you get the brush on this and then you get the paint on it, it's going to get pretty heavy. It would seem like rollers are rollers and brushes are brushes. You need to make sure that the roller that you get is the same length as the metal part, the base that you got. So in this case, this one's 9 inches, so that works. Then you also need to look at the nap. The nap is on this one, 1/2 inch nap. In general, the higher the nap, the more paint it will hold. The newer your wall is, if you have like a really fine surface, a wall, ceiling, wood doors, trim, you want something like a 1/4 inch nap. So this is 9 and 16, 9 and 1/4. Here we go. This is 9 inches and it's got a 1/4 inch nap. So that should be perfect for the wall that I'm painting. If you're doing something that has a rough surface, like our old house had a lot of texture on it, you would want maybe a 1/2 inch nap. If you had a rough surface, like a textured wall or plaster, you might want the 3/4 inch. Come in different materials. You can look and see they'll tell you what they're for a lot of the time. For example, this one says premium, 1 coat, and latex and oil paints. It'll tell you exactly what it's for in case the patience has definitely run out on this situation. So we're gonna check out and go to Target. Of course. I have that one. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now we're at the point in the journey where the kids get to play. I've gotten all the stuff that I need, and I told them if they want to play in the toy department for 10-15 minutes, they can. I don't have anything else that we're headed to go do, so I'm just letting them hang out and play. They're super happy. I'm super happy. We got everything we needed on our list. Total win. Another thing that's helping to make this possible and easier for me, more peaceful for me, is that I have something to look forward to. Knowing that I was going to keep the boys home 2 days in a row, I went ahead and texted yesterday one of our babysitters to ask her if she could come this afternoon after the baby wakes up from his nap and watch all 3 kids. Wow! You gotta go pee? Crisis averted. Okay, so know thyself. I know that after 2 days of being with my kids all day, mostly inside, from trying to stay away from germs outside, that I'm gonna need a break. So I put that in place yesterday, and she will be here this afternoon at 2 o'clock, and hopefully I'll be able to get some video of what I get to do with that time from 2 to 6:30. Let her do dinner, let her do baths. So when I come home, I'll just have freshly clean, happy children that I can put to bed. And that's a great way to wrap up 2 days of balancing, of having this balance back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're gonna tip the scales in my favor a little bit this afternoon. And it will give Chris and I some time together. We're gonna co-opt it into a date night. You need to go to the bathroom too? Okay. I don't know if it comes from having twins or if it's just more my personality, but I have a lot of leeway when it comes to how far away the kids can be from me. I mean, when they were little, I couldn't always be with both of them, so I had to be trusting of people around me and trusting of them to be able to take on responsibilities for themselves. I'm letting them go to the bathroom by themselves. I'm in the very back of the store, they're gonna go to the very front of the store, and I feel super confident in their ability to do that. We have not taught them that you can't talk to strangers. We've taught them to trust your gut, and if you have a problem or there's something you need, to look around and find somebody who you feel like is trustworthy to talk to. Because you need strangers in life. I talk to strangers all the time when I'm asking for help or directions or starting a conversation or holding a door open for somebody. I think it's a good skill to have, to be able to know who you feel like you can talk to and trust and who you can't, because I am not always going to be with them, and I want them to be able to trust themselves enough to know what feels like a dangerous situation and what doesn't. I have a lot of trust built up in them that has come from over the years with a lot of practice. I'm not sending this guy by himself. Also, I've lost all 3 of them at various points in Target. They've always come back, so. Okay. That was a call for Sarah to meet her party at Guest Services, and I would be Sarah. So now I'm gonna go find out what Guest Services is. I cannot believe that that just happened on the heels of what I was just talking about. I got called on the intercom to Guest Services. The big boys were there. Nothing was wrong. There was no incident. Nobody was hurt. They just got lost. And Mr. B decided to find somebody who looked trustworthy, who had a red shirt on, looked like they work here, told him he was lost, told him his information, and apparently Target's protocol is to take them to the front no matter what. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Our kids are going to run into problems. They're going to get lost. I personally, and everybody is due their own opinion on this, but I personally would rather my kids have these small, more micro experiences as they're growing up of getting lost and trusting people and figuring things out and problem solving than protect them in a bubble and watch them all the time and not let them try things by themselves and then get to be 18 or 12 or 16 and are 25 and not feel like they have the self-confidence to be able to figure things out for themselves and do things for themselves and to get lost and to not panic. But I really can't believe that just happened after I just taped that. Just waiting for the boys to get done with their promised playtime. Hey, how's it going? It's fruit and apple juice and 2...
Should I smile for the camera?
You can if you want.
Okay,
You too.
Hi.
Thank you.
my pleasure. You have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
Friday.
Now it's time to enjoy some date day, night, Friday time without the children. Ooh. Pretty. Just table outside. Handsome man and like 2 hours to talk uninterrupted. Ready, go.
What have you been doing? I rebalanced our mutual funds. We gotta do our taxes.
Baby might have another ear infection, I'm not sure. Chick-fil-A didn't give us the right meals today. The paint on the wall looks amazing and I'm really excited to go and do something with you tonight, even after the kids go to bed if we can stay up late enough. Delicious. What was this? Crackberry?
Yeah.
Crackberry. What's yours?
A Guinness Point. Nip on down to the pub for a point.
Check out these tacos. Am I now showing my food in videos? What'd you get?
And chicken pasta thing.
That was a beautiful sunset and a really great way to ring in the beginning of the weekend. Wouldn't you say?
We made it.
The lights really came on as we were walking underneath them.
Yeah. It was like magic. I like it.
We gotta come back here sometime. Even if it's for an hour and a half at a restaurant down the street at like 4 o'clock on a Friday, anytime you can make it work, I say go for it. It doesn't have to be a big, huge deal. It can be something really small and still set you up for going into the weekend rested and happy and feeling connected to your spouse. Look at that sky. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. That is a gorgeous sunset. Wow. What's a Texas sunset for you?